In back segment tonight, now looks like Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi lied when she said she was unaware that enhanced interrogations, including waterboarding, were being used on a few captured al-Qaeda big shots. In a press conference today, things got intense.
My statement is clear, and let me read it again. Let me read it again. I'm sorry, I had to find the page. I'm sorry, I had the pages out of order. The only mention of waterboarding was that in the briefing was that it was not being employed. So let's get this straight. The Bush administration has conceived a policy. The CIA comes to the Congress, withholds information about the timing and the use of this subject.
Madam Speaker, just to be clear, you're accusing the CIA of lying to you in September of 2002.
Misleading the Congress of the United States.
You had the press conference with us, and you said very clearly, we were not told that waterboarding or any of these other enhanced interrogation methods were used.
That's right. The point is that I wasn't briefed. I was informed that someone else had been briefed about it. I'm only speaking from my... I don't have to stand. I got this. I'm only speaking from my own experience. They mislead us all the time. I was fighting the war in Iraq at that point, too.
Joining us now from Washington, Fox News Washington managing editor Bill Sammons. So, quite clearly says that the CIA withheld information and misled her. What do you think?
I think that's a very large and serious accusation to make. It's fraught with political peril. It's like accusing the IRS of some grave crime on national television. You know what's going to happen next. I mean, this is the Speaker of the House accusing the CIA of lying. If you don't think the CIA is now going to find a way to disclose all the notes about the various times she was briefed, you've got another thing coming.
Well, I already got a call from the CIA. Already got a call from them a couple hours ago, and they say this is Ms. Pelosi is not telling the truth. She is impugning the agency, and the agency will correct the record. So you're absolutely right. I already got that call. But here's what I want to know. I think that most people understand that Ms. Pelosi is not telling the truth at this point. Now, how bad it is or what I don't know. I can't possibly say. What happens now? Can anything happen to her?
I think there's a real question about whether her speakership is in peril. And it's not because of Republicans, it's because of Democrats. Bill, the torture debate is supposed to hurt Republicans. That's what it's all about.
No, it's hurting the Democrats worse. Absolutely.
It's hurting Democrats.
Sure.
And the Democrats are very, very acutely aware of that. She is now the story. She is standing in the way of any Truth Commission. She's standing in the way of any Department of Justice investigation or any congressional hearings into this because she's the issue. If at some point it may occur to Democrats that if she gets out of the way, they can get on with their show trials and their witch hunts, to put it in their
well, she's
words.
going to have to be put under oath. But here's what worries me, Bill. If she's going to go out in front of the world and say that she was lied to, misled, and information was withheld from her, why wouldn't she say it on a witness stand under oath?
Not only that, it's a crime to lie to Congress. She's essentially accusing the CIA of criminal
activity. But she can't change her story now. She's in too deep.
Well, no, this was a disastrous press conference. Look at the demeanor alone, the nervousness, the inappropriate smiling at the wrong time, the flitting back and forth to the lectern, let me be clear, let me read my statement. Where's my statement? My pages are out of order. People who have nothing to hide can speak from their heart. They don't need to go look at what page their statement is or what, you just speak from your heart. She looked guilty as sin. I'm not saying she is, but her demeanor did her no favors today.
All right, so how do you think the story now goes forward? What happens next? The CIA gives me documents? Is that the next thing?
I think so, and I think, remember, the old template that Democrats have used against Republicans ever since Watergate, what did you know and when did you know it, is now being used against a Democrat by the mainstream media. That should tell us a lot. So I think that the story continues to be Pelosi. Her speakership is possibly in peril, and it's an example of how the Democrats are being hurt by these national security issues that were supposed to help them. You look at Barack Obama reversing himself on the photo release thing. He's being accused of flip-flopping. That issue was supposed to work for him. You look at Nancy Pelosi on the torture. She's now the story. It was supposed to work for her.
Now, you saw the whole press conference. I did not. The press did its job, right? The press was all over her and asking the questions that nobody was in the tank at that press conference that I saw.
Well, there was a couple things I might take issue with. One reporter in the middle of the feeding frenzy said, "Can I ask about health care?" And sort of, everybody groaned and booed him. Another
reporter.
Who
was that? Do you remember who that was?
I actually meant to send a message out to my guy on Capitol Hill to find out who that was, but I just got busy. Somebody else, framed a question in such a way that, that said something about how the Republicans are ginning this up, which was a very loaded way to question it. But by and large, you're right. The press did its job, asked very tough questions, and you know that when the mainstream media goes into a full-fledged feeding frenzy against somebody like Nancy Pelosi, she has really stepped in it.
There's blood in the water.
Yeah,
no
absolutely. And at that point, ideology becomes less important, and they just go for the story. And that's what you saw today.
I know the CIA is watching right now, and we will, we are here for you. Because we don't want the agency to be accused of that if it's not true. So if the CIA wants to funnel stuff over to us, we'll be happy to see it and examine it. Bill, thanks very much.